All right. So we're going to be on page number 35 today, page number 35. Introduction to factoring. Introduction to factoring. Okay. Now, when we have a multiplication problem, this goes all the way back to the first week of school. When we have a multiplication problem, these two things are called what? Factors. Okay? So, when we are factoring, okay, it gives us the product, and we have to list everything that we multiply together to get this product. So, some factors. What can we multiply together to get 6?
1 times 6.
1 times 6. So we have 1 and 6. What else? 3 times 2. Okay. Now, these are called pairs of factors, okay? Pairs. Because it only works if I have the 1 and the 6 together, right? It only works if I have the 2 and the 3 together. So they're paired together. There's two numbers, they're paired together. Okay? The greatest common factor is if I have two products, okay? And I list all the factors of both products. Okay? The greatest common factor, greatest means what? Biggest. The biggest. Factor is any one of these, okay? Is a number you multiply times another number to get a product, okay? So the biggest number that they have in common. So the biggest number that we have in common for 6 and 4 is the number 2. Okay? Basically what that is telling me is that I can go ahead and I can divide 4 and 6 by 2 and I get a smaller number, okay? The reason why we need to know greatest common factors is because later on in the year we're going to be talking about fractions. When we talk about fractions, we need to know the greatest common factor so we can figure out how to reduce those fractions easier. Okay? Because if I have 4 and 24, if I know that my greatest common factor between 4 and 24 is what? My greatest common factor between 4 and 24 is 4. I can divide both these numbers by 4 real quick and I get 1/6. Okay? Or if I have 10 and 30, I know that my greatest common factor is 10. Drop my 0, so I get 1/3. Okay? That's why you need to know greatest common factor. By knowing the greatest common factor, I can then use it later on when we cover fractions. Okay? So when we talk about factoring, we're talking about breaking a number down into the pairs of factors. So let's look here on page number 35, page 35. Cross out, section 1, cross out the number that is not a factor of the red number. So for letter A, they give 10, the red number, and they give factors of 3 and 5. Which one is not going to be a factor of 10? Tony? 3. Okay? 3 is not a factor of 10. It doesn't matter what you multiply it by, you're not going to get 3 times this number equals 10. Okay? It doesn't work that way. Okay? Letter B. 8. They give the factors of 4 and 6. Which one is not, Liviana? 6. Again, it doesn't matter what we multiply it by, you cannot get 6 to equal 8. Okay? When you multiply. C, we have 16, and they give the numbers of 8 and 9. Which one is not? Adam? What? 9. 9 is not a factor. All right, so let's go through. I want you guys to finish up section 1. Section 1, continue crossing out the red or the numbers that are not factors of the red number. And I'll be around to look at it stuff in just a second, all right? So finish up section 1. All right, so let's go through and we'll finish up with section 1. Letter E, what number do we cross out? Letter E. Evelyn? 3. What number do we cross out for letter F? Ariel? 8. Letter G. Shane? 2. H. Tony? What? Nope. 4. I. What do we cross out, Gavin? 10. J. What do we cross out, Emmeline?
6.
K. What do we cross out, Ariel?
12.
Tristan. What do we cross out for letter L?
7.
Nope. We cross out the 9. Cross out the 9. Okay, so now, going on to section 2. Going on to section 2, what we have here is we're going to break these numbers down into their factors. We're going to list all the numbers, or all the factors. We're going to list the common factors, and then we're going to list the greatest common factor, okay? So, they already did letter A for you, so let's write this on the board. Here are the numbers 8 and 20. Okay, so what I'm going to go through here and do is I'm going to list all my pairs of factors for the number 8. Pairs of factors for 8. So we have 1 times 8, right? That equals 8. We have 2 times 4. That equals 8 as well, right? Anything else? No. Okay? Okay, let's do 20. So we got 1 times 20, 2 times 10, 4 times 5. Okay? That's it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to list all my factors in order. Okay? So I have my pairs of factors, pairs, then I have my factors, then I have my G GCF. So then I have 1, I have 2, I have 4, and I have 8. Down here I have 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, and 20. Okay? So you see what I did? I just simply took the numbers right here, my pairs. Then I took all the numbers and I just listed them in order. Okay? Yes? What's that? I haven't got to that point yet. Okay? So I have my pairs. I just listed all my numbers that are in my pairs. I just put them in order. Okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for common numbers. Okay? I'm going to look for common numbers. I have 1s in common. I have 2s in common. I have 4s in common. Okay? So then I put my common numbers. 1, 2, and 4. Okay, between 1, 2, and 4, which one's the biggest number? Everybody.
4.
Everybody.
4.
Everybody.
4.
Everybody.
4.
Okay, there we go. 4. So my GCF is the number 4. Okay? And that's what we're going to do for letter B now. I want you guys to look on letter B. Letter B, we have the number 9 and the number 12. So we're going to list our pairs of factors for 9. So when we multiply stuff together, what gives us 9? Okay? The very first one that everyone should get, because it's the easiest one possible, we can start off with 1 times 9. 1 times 9. That should be your first one every single time, because any number times 1 is itself. And then the next number we have is 3 times 3. So, do we have anything else with 9 that we multiply equals 9? Anything? Anything else? Okay, so we have 2 pairs of factors. 1 times 9 and 3 times 9. Now, what about the number 12? The very first one that everybody should write down to begin with, Shane? 1 times 12. 1 times 12. And then next we have Cameron. What?
3 times 4.
We have 3 times 4. What's another one we could have?
6 times 2.
6 times 2. So we have 1 times 12, 2 times 6, and 3 times 4. Anything else? No. Okay? So now, under your factors line, in your factors column, you're going to list all your factors. So you're going to list all your factors for 9. What are the factors for 9? 1, 3, and 9. Okay? Sometimes you're going to have a factor that's repeated. You don't need to repeat that. So in this case, you would have 3 times 3. You don't need to put 1, 3, 3, 9. Okay? You only need to list the factor one time. So it's just 1, 3, 9. For 12, what do we have for our factors, Josiah? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 12. What are the factors we have in common? Tony? And? 1 and 3. 1 and 3. Between 1 and 3, which one's bigger?
3.
Who said 1? Which one's bigger, 1 or 3? Okay. Put your chair down, please. The answer is 3. The GCF is going to be 3. Okay? Now that we've already done, I did one on the board, we did one together, I want you guys to do letter C, okay? Do letter C, find the factors for 15 and 25, okay? And then find the GCF. I will give 3 tickets if it's done correctly. I'll be around to check. 3 tickets. All right, so what I want you guys to work on now is I want you guys to work on page 36. Page 36. Let's look at number 7, review from yesterday. Okay? divisibility, rules of divisibility. Okay? So let's look at 7a. We have the number of 6,480. Is this number divisible by 2? Who says yes? Who says no? Who says I don't know? Okay. Well, what's the rule for 2? Ariel? If it ends in an even number, then it's divisible by 2. What are my even numbers? 2, 4, 6, 8, and 0, right? So, does 6,480 end with a 2, 4, 6, 8, or 0? Yes, it is. Okay? So you're going to put a check mark right there. Divisible by 3. Is this number divisible by 3?
Yes.
Who says yes? Who says no? Okay. What's my 3 divisibility rule? If I add up all the numbers and that number is divisible by 3, then the whole thing is divisible by 3, right? So if I have 6 plus 4 is 10, plus 8 is 18, plus 0 is still 18. Is 18 divisible by 3?
Yes.
Let's do this. 1 plus 8 is 9. Is 9 divisible by 3?
Yes.
Yes. So the whole thing is divisible by 3. Is it divisible by 4?
No. Yes.
Who says yes?
Yes.
Who says no? What's my rule? If the last 2 numbers are divisible by 4, then the whole thing is divisible by 4, right? Or if my last 2 numbers are zeros. Okay? So, is 80 divisible by 4? Yes, it is. 80 divided by 4 is 20. So, is this divisible by 4? Yes, it is. Well, 5. Is this divisible by 5? What's my 5 rule? If it ends in 5 or 0, then it's divisible by 5. Okay? What about 6? Yes. What's the rule for 6? If it's even and divisible by 3, it's divisible by 6. So because it ends in a 0, it's an even number, right? And we've already decided that it's divisible by 3, so it's even and divisible by 3, so it's divisible by 6. Is this divisible by 9? What's the rule? If you add it all up, and that number is divisible by 9, the whole thing is divisible by 9. Okay? So we add it all up, we get 18. Is 18 divisible by 9?
Yes.
Yes, it is. So this is divisible by 9.
Yes.
And then, is it divisible by 10?
Yes.
Why? It ends in a 0. 10, if it ends in a 0, it's divisible by 10. Okay? Let's look at letter B. 2,565. Is this number divisible by 2? Who says yes? Who says no? What's my rule? If it ends in an even number, right? Is 5 an even number?
No.
No, it is not. So is this number divisible by 2?
No.
No, it's not. 2,565, is this divisible by 3?
Yes.
Okay. What's my rule? If the sum of the digits is divisible by 3, the whole thing is divisible by 3. So we have to add it up. We have 2 plus 5 is 7, plus 6 is? 7 plus 6 is?
14. 18. It's 18.
13.
13.
Plus 5 is 18. Okay? So 18 is 18 divisible by 3.
No.
Yes, it is. We just had this last time. Okay? Yes, it is. Is this divisible by 4? No, it's not. And a quick thing to remember, okay? It is not divisible by an even number, okay? If it's not an even number to begin with, okay? So if you can't divide it by 2, you're not going to be able to divide it by 4. You're not going to be able to divide it by 6. You're not going to be able to divide it by 10, okay? So if you can't divide it by 2, it's not going to be divisible by an even number. So we know it's not divisible by 4. Is it divisible by 5?
No. Yes.
It ends in a 5, guys.
Yes, sir.
There's only two qualifiers for 5. It ends in a 5 or ends in a 0.
Yes, sir.
It ends in a 5. Excuse me. Okay, so is this divisible by 9?
Yes.
Yes, it is, because when we add it all up, it equals 18, right?
Skip 6.
I already covered it.
What was it? Yes or no? No.
Is it an even number?
Yes.
Is 2,565 an even number?
No.
No, it's not.
But it has
So it's not divisible by 6.
It has a 6 and 2.
Doesn't matter. It's not an even number.
I crossed it out
Because one of the rules to divide by 6 is it has to be an even number. If it's not an even number, it can't be divided by 6. Okay? And then we already said it's divisible by 9. It does not end in a 0, so it's not divisible by 10. Okay? Let's look at letter D. Letter D. Skip down to letter D. Okay? 2,101.
Yes.
Is this divisible by 2?
No.
Does it end in a 2, 4, 6, 8, or 0?
No.
Okay. Is this divisible by 3? Okay. We have to add it all up, right?
Yes.
2 plus 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4, plus 0 is 4.
Oh.
Okay? So, can you divide 4 by 3?
Yes.
No. Okay. Can you divide it by 4?
Yes.
Can you divide 2,101 by 4?
No.
No, it's not an even number. Can you divide it by 5?
Yes.
No, it doesn't end in 5 or 0.
Oh.
Can you divide it by 6? No, you can't. Can you divide it by 9?
No.
No, you cannot. Can you divide it by 10?
No.
No, you cannot. Yes.
How come it's not a 7 or 8?
Because there's no definite concrete rules for 7 and 8.
Yeah.
So because we don't have those definite concrete rules for 7 and 8, we just don't put them in there. We don't have definite rules for 7 and 8.
But are there rules about them?
Probably. Okay. Homework for tonight. Homework for tonight is review.
Just that?
Review.
You're the best. We love you.
Okay.
Does you want
Really? I give you too much homework. You're really saying that? Because I can adjust stuff and we can really see. As a matter of fact, I know of just last night, one of the upper math classes had over 50 problems for homework.
What?
Just in one class. Just in one class. Okay. You guys, we have seat work time for the rest of the class period. So, go ahead and get to work. If you're watching online, I'm going to end the feed right now, and you will be back for language here.